Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So today let's read about diseases which we encounter in our life. So there are various diseases caused by various planets. Sun causes different diseases: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu-Kethu. So these planets cause different kinds of diseases. So with regard to diseases, we have to see the houses, 6th house, planets in the 6th house, planets in the 8th house, and planets in the 12th house. And also we have to see the lord of the 6th house, planets associated with the lord of the 6th house. So these planetary combinations we have to analyze, assess, then we can come to conclusion what kind of diseases a person may get. So if there are many planets in these houses, then there are many diseases a person may encounter. If this 6th lord is conjunct with many planets, then he may have many diseases. So if 12th house has many planets, then they will have diseases with relate to 12th house matters. If he has more planets in the 8th house, he will have diseases with regard to 8th house. So 6th, 8th, 12th house, these are the main houses causing diseases. So if one has 6th house planets, so what the house, what kind of house it is, whether it is earthly house or fiery house or airy house or watery house, we have to see, and with regard to that one may get diseases. If it is an airy house, he may encounter problem with respect to nerves problem or any kind of lunatic problem, airy disease. He may get diseases with regard to airy diseases, vata diseases. He may be, there is a possibility of lack of movement, handicap, or unable to walk properly, unable to sit properly, unable to communicate properly. So airy diseases. And fiery diseases, no proper digestion or excessive overly one may suffer of ulcer, like that. There are many diseases, fiery diseases, water diseases, skin diseases, possibility of getting skin diseases, and then this malaria, chikungunya, dengue, because of the water infection, and then skin infection, water infection. So the different kinds of diseases we get due to different elements: earth element, water element, fire element, sky. So these kind of elements we get different kinds of diseases: earth, water, air, fire. Because of these 4 elements we get different kinds of diseases. So let's see about 8th house. 8th house represents your longevity, your life, especially your private parts, from where one takes birth, male or female private parts, generative organs. So if there are malefic planets in the 8th house, One may suffer from diseases with respect to one's generative organs. If the 8th house is strong, one's longevity will be strong. One's generative organs is strong. If the 8th house is weak, one's longevity is weak, one's generative organ is weak. So it is important for those who are going to be married, these two planets must be strong. These houses must be strong. The 7th house must be strong and 8th house must be strong, because marriage is mainly for reproduction. So the reproduction organs should be strong for marriage. So that's why it is recommended that 8th house should be strong. 8th Lord, 8th house should be strong, and there should not be malefic planets in the 8th house. Evil planets should not be reside at 8th house. So these are very important. And then we have 12th house. 12th house is just opposite to the 6th house. So any planets which is there in the 12th house will also see the 6th house. Any planet which is in the 6th house will also see the 12th house. So this is very important. So this house also important, because 12th house also represents your rest, where you take rest. 12th house means Sayanasthana, bed, where you take rest. So a lot of diseases we get through bed. Bed bugs are there. Overindulgence in sexual intercourse also, you get a lot of diseases, and unwanted progeny, and so many diseases you get because of overindulgence in sex. So the 6th house, 8th house, 12th house has a lot of planets, then a person may suffer from various diseases, severe diseases. 8th house is chronic disease, incurable diseases. 6th house is curable. 12th house is also kind of curable diseases. 8th house is uncurable diseases, because 8th house is where the source of life. The source of life means people take birth from, where they take birth from. So 8th house should be strong for a female or male, for good longevity and good children also. If 8th house is strong, then his reproductive organ is strong, and he can able to beget children. And then we go to what kind of disease one get through the planets. So there are 7 planets. So there are different diseases attributed to different planet because of their elements. Sun represents fire element. So the diseases which are connected to sun are mostly fiery diseases. The sun is a significator for following diseases and troubles. This is taken from Mantreshwara's Phaladipika. Pitta, bile, high fever. If you get high fever, and then this is a sun. High fever like typhoid fever. So one gets because of the sun. Burning in the body. Burning in the body. When there is excess fire in the body, there is a burning sensation in the body. And then epilepsy, heart diseases, eye troubles, because eyes means vision, light. So if you are facing problems with respect to vision, if you are not able to properly see things, which means there is a defect, there is a affliction of sun in your horoscope. Eyes trouble means vision, we can see everything clearly. If you are having any difficulty with respect to seeing, which means the sun is weak, sun is afflicted. Vision, problem of vision, eyes problem. And also it is given as stomach problem, because sun also represents the infectious, anti-infectant. Sun is anti-infectant, antiseptic. Sun. So it can give you relief from, or it can give you energy to face the disease. Vitality. Antiseptic. Sun is antiseptic. So it gives you energy to face back, fight back the disease, or it prevents the disease. Sun mostly prevents. Sun. Stomach troubles. Danger from wood, fire and weapon and poison. Danger from enemies. Leucorrhea. Distress from wife and sons. Danger from thieves or quadrupeds. Danger from snakes. Danger from king, the god Yama, the god Shiva. So if the government is not good, then there is a lot of thieves. One will see a lot of thieves in our life. So that way indirectly sun has become cause factor for getting theft in our places. Either increase of theft, increase of rogues, thieves means the sun is weak, you can say. And then danger from king. If the government is harassing us, or they want to take over our land, or they were so many problems we face due to government, over taxation, due to that so many bribery, cheating, and so much atrocities committed by the kings we see in our life. Because if the sun is weak, then we may face these kinds of problems. And next is moons. Moon's significations are excessive sleepiness or sleeplessness, laziness, phlegmatic affliction, dysentery or diarrhea, carbuncle, typhoid fever, danger from horn or watery animals or creatures, loss of appetite, indigestion, tastelessness, trouble from women, jaundice, impurity of blood, danger from water, mental fatigue, fear from Balagrahas, the goddess Durga, Kinnaras, the god Yama, snakes and female Yaksha. So with respect to moon, the diseases are given. So means if one person may sleep more, or he may not get proper sleep. One person may be feeling lazy, and too much diseases with respect to cold, phlegmatic affliction, cold, one may get excessive cold, and because of cold there are so many other diseases, and diarrhea, dysentery, diarrhea, dehydration. So this is also part of, one gets disease due to dehydration because of moon. And danger from watery animals like crocodile and mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are bite. When there is contaminated water, mosquitoes are thrive there. They come there. Or any worm infection, contaminated watery infections. Danger from horned or watery animals. Watery animals means we see shark, whales or crocodiles. So there is a danger with respect to these living creatures, and snakes also, because there is some snakes live in water also. So these kinds of diseases we may get through water. And impurity of blood. There is a contamination. If blood is contaminated due to some impurity, we may suffer from these diseases. And sometimes there is we may get drowned in water. And there is this also because of this moon. And sometimes there is no water, sometimes there is excess of water. We can attribute this to moon. Mental fatigue. We feel distress, stress, anxiety. This all due to moon. and we feel fear also, fearful what is going to happen. So that is also due to grahas, bala grahas, and due to the goddess Durga, Kinnaras, the god Yama, snakes and female Yaksha. These are all the planetary deities. These are all the demigods which are causing us these diseases with respect to moon. And then we come to Mars. The Mars can be the cause of following diseases and troubles: excessive thirst, morbid irritation due to bilious fever, fear or danger from fire, poison or weapon, leprosy, eye troubles, appendicitis, epilepsy, injury to the marrow, itch in the body, roughness of the body, bodily deformities, fear from the king, fire and thieves, quarrels with brothers, sons or enemies, fighting with the enemies, diseases in the upper parts of the body, and fear from evil spirits, Gandharva and frightful demon. So Mars is because of Mars we suffer from excessive threat, because Mars represents the element of fire. Previously we saw moon, which is the element of water. So now we are seeing a Mars, which is the element of fire. So any diseases which we get through fire, we can attribute to Mars also. As we saw from the sun, it can apply to Mars also. Excessive thirst, if there is shortage of water, we feel thirsty, or during the battlefield, when the people fight they suffer from excessive thirst. When they fight in the fighting battle, they suffer because of thirst, because when they are fighting, there is no possibility of getting water. You cannot stop, they will attack immediately. So one suffers because of thirst, or political prisoners or imprisonment. So that I can apply these things, because if one is in prison, politically present, he may suffer from this thirst also. And fear from danger from fire. There is a possibility of fire accidents, or else the cars get burnt when they take some in the street. Possibly because of petrol, diesel, it can easily catch fire. Vehicles can catch fire easily. And then we have many other problems with respect to fire. Houses are getting, plastics it can easily catch fire. So fiery problems we get through Mars. Poison, weapon, all can be attributed to Mars. Leprosy also. Leprosy represents impurity of blood. On account of this, the skin gets spoiled, and then all the flesh gets spoiled and bones get spoiled. Everything gets spoiled because of impurity of blood. So blood represents Mars. And then we have itchiness. Over itchiness means because of excessive heat in the body, roughness of the body, bodily deformities, fear from king, fire and thieves. So Mars is a Kshatriya planet, so royal planet is Sun. So similarly, Mars also can be attributed like a royal planet, Kshatriya planet. So any disease, any problem which we face because of the soldiers, because of the constables, police, we can attribute to this Mars. And thieves also, like gundas, rowdies, If you have problem with these people, then this is also attributable to this Mars. Quarrels with brothers, sons or enemies. So quarrels with brothers, sons or enemies. So if you are having a quarrel with younger brothers, we can attribute to the servants, we can attribute to Mars. If there is a property disputes, we can attribute to Mars. Property dispute or any other vehicle accident, and then the court cases with respect to accident, we can attribute to Mars. Fighting with the enemies, there's always a fight, especially they want to fight. Nowadays they have created atomic bomb, they want to fight. And then we have diseases in the upper part of the body. So there is a fear from spirits, evil spirits, Gandharva and frightful demons. All these things we can attribute to Mars. There's a threat of World War III now, so we can attribute this to Mars. Wars, there's a threat of terrorism, we can attribute this to Mars. A rebellion, strike, all these things we can attribute to Mars. Mercury is concerned with the following diseases and troubles: mental confusion, harsh speech, trouble in vocal organs, eye troubles, diseases of the throat, trouble in the nose or nasal affliction, fever caused by imbalance of the three humors, wind, bile and phlegm, ill effects from poisoning like food poisoning, skin diseases, jaundice, itching and bad dreams, fear from fire, hard labor, diseases or evil caused by Gandharvas, etc. Mercury is concerned with the following diseases and troubles. So mental confusion. So there is a mental confusion, philosophical confusion, and we can attribute this to Mercury. Philosophical confusion. Mental confusion is confusion with respect to what to do, what not to do. We can attribute this to Mercury. And then we have harsh speech or trouble in vocal organs. So there is a harsh speech, then also it can be attributed to Mercury. Mercury is more or less a airy planet. Mercury rules one airy sign, another earth sign. Airy sign is, we have Mithuna, Gemini, it is ruled by Mercury, and then we also have Virgo, Kanya Rashi, ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is mostly airy planet. So we get airy diseases, mental confusion. Intellectually we may get confused. Philosophical confusion. Harsh speech. Diseases of the throat, trouble in the nose or nasal affliction. So air is something which you breathe in, breathe out. So if you have any trouble with respect to breathing, then there are so many diseases people get because of air, breathing problem. Wheezing, this is a wheezing problem, or tuberculosis, breathing problem. So this can be attributed to Mercury. So there is three kinds of disease: imbalance of the Kapha, Pitta, Vata. If there is imbalance, then we can attribute this to Mercury, because Mercury rules two signs, one earth sign and air sign. So we can attribute, if there is imbalance of this three humors, Kapha, Pitta, Vata, wild, phlegm, can attribute this to Mercury. Ill effects from poisoning, food poisoning, skin diseases, and jaundice, itching and bad dreams. So these are all we can attribute to Mercury. And then we go to Jupiter. Jupiter is responsible for the following diseases and troubles: appendicitis, fever due to infection or into intestines, fainting, diseases of the ear, troubles in connection with temple matters, wealth, oppression caused by Vidyadhara, Yaksha, Kinnaras, god, serpents, punishment due to show of disrespect to preceptor, respected and elderly persons, and devotion from duty towards them. This is suffered during the Antardasha of Jupiter. This is so determined by the divine. So if one is facing infection in intestine, fainting, disease in the ear represents our air element, nose also represents air element. If there is a trouble with respect to ear and hearing, then we should attribute this to Jupiter. A hearing problem, then we should attribute to Jupiter. So there is a lot of temple matter, dispute in the temples, court cases. Now there are a lot of court cases between temples. So that can be attributed to Jupiter. And trustees, temple trustees, they may cause trouble, or temple managers, they may cause troubles. And temple priest may cause us some troubles. So this can be attributed to Jupiter. Distress due to curse of Brahmin. If you are facing any kinds of distress, this can be attributed to Jupiter. If there is a shortage of finance, if you are having any problem with respect to finance, then can be attributed to Jupiter. Oppression caused by Vidyadhara, Yaksha, Kinnaras, gods happen. If there is these are all demigods, devatas, if these kinds of devatas say cause some trouble to us. Punishment due to show disrespect to preceptor. So if there is a guru to us, if we are disrespectful to guru, then that we face problem with respect to that. Elderly person, if we show disrespect to elderly persons, we also face problem with respect to that. And deviation from duty towards them. If we have a duty, we have a lot of duty towards our guru who gave us the knowledge and elderly persons. So we suffer problems with respect to that. This is suffered during the Antardasha of Jupiter. This is so determined by the divine. So if we have above said problems, then it can be attributed to Jupiter. These problems we face when we have running Dasha of Jupiter, Dasha or Antardasha, how strong or weak the Jupiter is. Based on this we have to conclude and decide. Next we come to diseases and troubles caused by Venus. They are pale complexion due to anemia. If there is shortage of blood in the body, we get our skin color gets changed. So that pale complexion is due to Venus, anemia, lack of luster in the body, that is due to anemia, that is due to Venus. There is no luster, there is no eye troubles. If the eyes are not beautiful to see, defective eyes, that also can be attributed to Venus. Urinary obstruction, because the generative organ represents the Venus. If there is any problem with respect to generative organs, it can be attributed to Venus. Urinary obstruction, diabetes, diseases of generative organs. If a woman suffers for lack of if a woman suffers no childbirth, it can be attributed to impotency in the male and female as well. She unable to give birth to children, it can be attributed to the 8th house in the horoscope. As we discussed earlier, 8th house in the horoscope represents the generative organs. If there is any malefic planet in this house, then one suffer from these troubles. And impotency, lack of vitality, impotency, inability to have sexual intercourse, pale complexion, lack of luster and weakness due to excessive indulgence in sexual intercourse. So if a person is facing impotency and if a person is feeling weakness due to excessive indulgence in sexual intercourse, this all can be attributed to Venus. Fear from witches. Now a lot of witches are there, like we have during Lord Krishna's time, Putana witches, Putana witch. Similarly, we have a lot of witches, witchcraft, sorcery, which can be attributed to Venus. Female ghosts and female deities break in friendship with dear friends. So a lot of witchcrafts, or nowadays it is practiced, witchcrafts, black magic, which can be attributed to Venus. Female ghosts and female deities. So if you have any trouble with respect to female ghost, that can be attributed to Venus. If you have any trouble with respect to female deities, that can be attributed to Venus. And break in friendship with dear friends. So nowadays we break friendship with the friends. Nowadays it has become very popular. Social networking sites have come out. So we break friendship with friends due to social networking sites. We make new friends, but whereas we break friendship with the very close friends with whom we have actually physically interacted. Nowadays we give importance to friendship with whom we have not interacted physically. We make new friends whom we do not know what kind of persons they are. But we do not make friendship with people whom we have interacted. We are breaking the friendship with the people who we have interacted. We are making friendship with unknown people, whereas we are breaking friendship with known people. These kinds of troubles which we can attribute to Venus. Next we have Saturn. Saturn is likely to be the cause of the following diseases and troubles. Diseases caused by wind and phlegm, pain in the legs or becoming lame, fatigue due to excessive labor, mental aberrations, stomach ache, excessive heat in the body, troubles from servants, distress due to wife and children, injury to some part of the body, mental anguish, oppression by ignominious goblin and the like, injury from a blow from a piece of wood or stone, misfortune. These are the diseases or things which can be attributed to Saturn. So if Saturn is situated in the 6th, 8th or 12th house, these diseases one will face. So Saturn represents air element, also earth. It rules 2 houses. One is airy house, Kumbha Rashi, Aquarius, another earth Rashi, that is Makara Rashi. So it rules 2 houses. So it is mixture of this Kapha Pitta, Kapha Vata disease. One will get Kapha Vata disease on account of Saturn. So Mercury, we have seen Mercury. Mercury has 3 humors, Kapha, Pitta, Vata, whereas Saturn has 2 humors. Pitta is not there in Saturn. Fire element is lacking in Saturn. So Saturn will give diseases with respect to Kapha and then Vata, whereas Mercury will give diseases with respect to Kapha, Pitta, Vata. 3 humors. One will face difficulty with respect to 3 humors, Kapha, Pitta, Vata. Whereas Saturn, there is a lack of Pitta in Saturn. and if there is a big pain in the legs or becoming lame, these are all can be attributed to Saturn. Fatigue due to excessive labor. If one is extremely fatigued, that is due to excessive labor, that can be attributed to Saturn. Mental aberration, stomach ache, excessive heat in the body, troubles from servants. If you are facing any trouble with respect to servants, that can be attributed to the Saturn. Nowadays there are a lot of people they are striking. It's like Mars, Saturn, both combination. Strike, they are making fight. They are rebellious. So this can be attributed to Saturn. If you are facing any distress in our life, miseries in our life, that can be attributed to Saturn. So oppression by ignominious goblin and the like, some ghost is attacking, that can be attributed to Saturn. Injury from a blow from a piece of wood or stone, misfortune, all these things can be attributed to Saturn. And then we go to diseases and troubles caused attributed to Rahu are as follows. Heart diseases, heart burning, leprosy, oppression of mind, diseases caused by poisoning, pain in the legs or injury, distress from wife and children or distress caused or on their account, trouble from goblins, serpents or enemies. Ketu is the cause of trouble through dispute with Brahmins and Kshatriyas, troubles due to Kulik are fear from seeing dead enemies, poison, bodily pain, sorrow due to the death of a near relation, fear from evil spirits. So these are the diseases attributed to Rahu-Kethu. Rahu-Kethu are considered to be shadow planets. So their portfolios are similar to the planet with which it is conjunct in the house, the lord of the house which it is placed, and the planet which is aspecting these planets. So based on this particular combination, we can come to conclusion the what kind of diseases one can get through this Rahu-Kethu planets. Rahu-Kethu planet cannot act independently. They will act as per the planet which is associated with it, as per the lord of the house wherein it is situated, as per the planets which is aspecting there. So these are the things we have to see to come to conclusion about what kind of diseases one gets because of these 7 planets: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. And we have to see the 6th house, 8th house and 12th house for diseases. I hope this will be quite informative for you. Please let me know your feedback. If you want to have any astrological consultation, you can contact me at 9611243737, 9611243737. My email ID is ramrajyav@yahoo.com. My email ID is ramrajyav@yahoo.com. Thank you. Hare Krishna.